Hey, what's up, everybody? This is SojuTalk, your weekly shot of K-pop. This is Super Spicy episode 222. We are recording on January 30th, 2023. I, once again, am your temporary host of the day, Warren, and joining me is Anita. Hello.
Hello.
As a quick reminder, check out SojuTalk on your favorite podcast platform, sub to us on YouTube, and join the SojuTalk Discord and be a part of the SojuTalk Nation. Nation. Oh man, that was a big mouthful. So I'm back. Anita's back. Doug is still not back. Unfortunately, he is sick. He's yeah. It's people might be asking questions because he's been out for 2 weeks in a row. But unfortunately he's a little sick, especially with his throat, so he can't speak. It's not
Hopefully,
COVID though. Right?
Yeah. Thankfully, yeah.
Thankfully.
Not COVID.
Sorry, were you gonna say something?
Oh, hopefully next week.
Hopefully
He'll be
next
joining
week.
us again.
Yeah. If he doesn't show up next week, then I'm gonna be a little scared. Like, I can't keep doing this forever with this whole intro thing. So Anita, you know what it means. Once again, it's you and me, just between you and me. Ramble Fest. 5.0 something.
5.0?
We've done this a couple times now. Yeah. So anyways, we got a lot of cool songs to talk about today, right? We have 3 big new releases, all voted by our lovely Gochu Gang Patreon supporters. We have Pandora by MAVE. We have Sugar Rush Ride by TXT, as well as Ayo by NCT 127. But we're gonna start right from the top with the debut of MAVE. Their debut track is called Pandora. They are from, lo and behold, they're called the Metaverse Entertainment. For those of you guys who are out of the loop on this whole situation, this is a 4-member virtual girl group created by Metaverse Entertainment, which is a virtual reality content developer affiliated with South Korea's top game publisher, Netmarble, right? They are composed of 4 virtual members, which is Siu, Zena, Marty, and Tyra. Marty's name in particular reminds me of Morty from Rick and Morty. I'm not
Just change the A.
Creatively, it's like, is that the best idea? I don't know. Anyways, it's here. Virtual girl group. It's here. Virtual K-pop in the virtual metaverse. It is the future. It is 2023. Good God. How'd you feel, Anita? How'd you like this debut track from MAVE?
Very, very interesting. I feel like when it was suggested and voted, I wasn't sure entirely what the project was. I thought like, oh, it might be a promotional thing. It might not be a permanent thing, but it obviously is, which is very, very interesting. I feel like there has been a dabble in the music scene with these type of groups or characters, virtual artists, basically, that they're in social media, they're putting their stuff on YouTube, like the whole 9 yards here. I feel like this feels very much more solid in a way, where I feel like the other ones that I've seen have been more like promotional things, or like maybe like there was a group where one member was considered to be AI and the rest were actual people. So I feel like this is the one where I'm seeing like, okay, well, this is the commitment to a serious group that will be promoting
Right.
as such. Very interesting. And I feel like there was a lot of thought and detail into it. And the thing that stood out to me was the visuals, like choreography wise, really, really nice. I found out that Nine and Casper, which were both affiliated with the Streetman Fighter series, were involved in this. So they got people like them. The graphics were really, really nice. The movement of the virtual girls, the members, were really smooth. Like there were certain shots where I was like, okay, you could fool people into thinking this was a real person. I don't know. It's very interesting where things are going as far as this concept.
Yeah, I will admit, like the choreo itself, like I could tell it isn't inspired by K-pop. It's like a K-pop choreo done by. I'm gonna guess that motion capture is used. Otherwise, the
It must
animators.
be. Yeah.
Yeah, because otherwise the animators they grinded their souls into this. Good God, like
Yeah.
it's. I was a little sad because I couldn't tell who worked on these animations because clearly they put a lot of effort into like animating this and like
Yeah.
it's not easy. It ain't easy work. So if going into the future, it'd be cool if we understood who works behind the scenes with this, especially because with with a situation like this, it's even more of a situation where everybody involved plays a big role. The animators, the
Oh,
choreographers,
yeah.
the vocals.
There's a whole people involved.
Right. At
Whole
the end of the
team.
day, K-pop is the members doing their thing, whereas this is that whole entity part of it is detached, and it's just choreographers make the choreo, and the animators animate it, and the visual concept directors visualize, and all that kind of stuff, and that's really cool, right? That I think that part's there's a lot of potential there. Did that potential fully blossom? I don't know. I'll get to that in a second. But at the face value, this does feel like it for the most part it feels like a standard K-pop comeback with very cool
Right.
visuals and a music video. This cinematic music video, very sci-fi, very cyberpunky. It's probably because I'm a Star Wars fan, but I was seeing a lot of Coruscant in here. Like some shots, some shots straight up looked like Episode 2 and Episode 3, where like there's a chancellor's office, or some of the roads look like the traffic with the flying shoot
Like the
speeders.
hover cars?
Yeah. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is that the visuals of it is all really cool. Maybe a little cliched, but I think it's fine. The music itself feels a little over cliched for me. Feels very it might be because of the context of this being a virtual AI, actually it's not AI, it's just metaverse and this virtual idol thing, but maybe it's because of that, but it felt very sterile. Like it felt there's nothing really anything that really points to personality or something that makes them unique, to me at least. It feels like we took a mishmash of KDA's music,
I
aespa's
was gonna
music,
mention them. Yeah.
a lot of groups that have been doing the trap, yelling girl crush concepts. Like we were very critical towards the Pillis' music a while back. This is, sound design wise, not too far off. I'm not gonna lie. Some of these main loops are dated hip hop sounds that sound like they're from SoundCloud in the year of 2013, which is, not gonna lie, that's not a good sign. The chorus itself is pretty exciting, right? But other than that, the whole like reliance on hip hop was a bit of a turnoff for me, especially because I felt like the rap was a little weak. I don't know who I'm pointing my criticism towards at this point, because we don't know who's singing. I don't know who's rapping. I guess I am pointing my criticisms towards Tyra, the rapper.
That's another thing that I find a little
Yeah.
something that I don't know how to feel about. Like, so obviously these members of this virtual group have a real voice. Like there's somebody behind that voice, right?
Right.
As far as I know. So I feel like I didn't see credits for the
No.
vocals. There might be out there. If anybody knows who they are, please let us know. But I felt like they're also like a big part of this project, right? Like
Yeah.
they're the ones kind of bringing life to these characters. So I don't know how to feel about that, because in a sense I feel like, oh well, if this is a way to be successful, right? If you are a singer and you want to expose your talent in this way, like cool, maybe this is gonna be something profitable. But it also feels a little odd because you don't really credit them as obviously as you would if it was a real person, right? So I don't know. I feel like it's cool, but I also feel a little conflicted in the sense as to who's being praised, I
Right,
guess.
right. Like if here's the thing. Like there's a strong chance that's not a single vocal working on,
Right.
like for instance, Shio's vocals. Right. It could be two. It could be
Mm-hmm.
three people mixed in.
Right. Yeah.
Maeve could actually be just two people. Who knows? It could be 5. It could be 12. We don't know that. The fact of the matter is, I feel like it's ethical to credit them, first of all, right?
Mm-hmm.
From a business perspective, I also feel like that's a huge business potential, right? If you look at anime, for instance, people who are a
Yeah.
fan of certain characters will start
Mm-hmm.
becoming fans of the voice actress or the voice actor, you know?
Right. Yeah.
That's a whole thing in itself, and that could lead to a lot of potential. Where, like, for instance, an idol could debut and they could be like, oh well, this person was the rapper in Mave, and people will be like, oh well, I liked her there, maybe I'll like this, you know what I mean? Like this could be a whole marketing thing. That they're not tapping into any of that, and maybe it's because they want to detach all of that and just keep our eyes on these 4 unhuman humans, these
Right.
characters, right? These virtual characters, which is, that's one way to do it. But without any of the organic component, this feels very sterile. This feels very, very artificial.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I'm not saying the output itself is bad, but it feels like
It's
I'm
not.
chewing
No.
on. It feels like I'm chewing on rubber. Just the
Hmm.
rubber tastes like
Yeah.
pizza. You know what I mean? It tastes like pizza. I'm
I
eating pizza,
mean.
but it's like it's just rubber at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like that's the vibe I'm getting. Um,
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I still found the song super catchy because I think the chorus um lent itself to that. Like the choreography and the chorus was really nice. The
yeah.
vocals were also like vocally the skills were really nice. Like I think whoever is voicing these characters, these girls, I think does a really really great job. Um, I feel like I also found myself doing a bit of comparison to like other, like we mentioned KDA. I also thought of aespa because they've had this sort of concept as well, but they haven't really brought them in
Well,
to be a group.
see, their whole scandal is they're an 8-member girl group and 4 have been on hiatus. Like, where are they? Like, are they in a
Right.
lawsuit too? Like, what's going on? Like,
I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if this is maybe a result of like that shift where like some people.
it's the 4 I members. That's who they are. They left They left Espa for this.
No, I mean, I don't think so, but like
I'm
just
kidding.
just thinking of like there's groups to compare them now to, which is crazy. And I feel like I don't know, I feel like the music is there. It's like the like when you mentioned this sort of like sterile feeling, I found it a little bit in like even though their body movements, their dancing is really smooth, like generally I would say the facial expressions are like the technology is not like 100% like super there. So I feel like when they did the close-ups and when they were like lip singing, I could tell like, oh, this kind of took me out a little bit because like the mouth was not matching the sound and like it's not as expressive as like a real person would be. So I feel like there's certain elements where it's hard to be submerged into this concept. But I don't know. I feel like the music is not bad. It's just maybe there's issues with the delivery inherently.
I agree with that, and that's where I'm concerned about with their next step as a group, right? Because if you think about a K-pop group, sure they do comebacks, sure they do release music, but
They
what do they
do.
do in between releases, right? What do they do in
Oh,
between,
that's true.
right? They do variety shows, they do, they go
Well,
on V Lives. Oh, actually, they don't do V Lives anymore. They, do their
some other.
some other communication platform
Yeah.
thing, Weverse Lives, I guess. They do stuff that characterizes them as people, you
Right.
know, and a lot of people get into those groups because that person is appealing as a person, or because of their relationship with this other member. That's, they're funny together, the chemistry is good, that kind of thing, right? How they achieve that is going to be a big question mark for me, because I feel like that's always been a very critical part of K-pop. That I don't know what's happening there.
Oh yeah, I feel like that's gonna be interesting to see how they are managed, right? Like this virtual group, how will they be managed? I know because I saw it. They've already done a quote unquote live stage on Show Music Core, which I felt like, is it really alive? Because it just seemed very CGI, but it's interesting. I'm interested to see how far they take this. Like how much will they do?
If anything, I want them to go farther, right? Because this isn't real people at the end of the day. We are borrowing the help of technology a lot.
The voices are real, but yeah, physically, the people.
What I'm saying is, we don't have to stick to what normal K-pop, standard K-pop does. We have so much freedom, and sure, a lot of that is shown in the music videos. But on the other hand, like, we could have that be a part of the music, the way people sing, for instance. Like, a lot of this, if it's not actually being sung live, why don't we do some crazy stuff that's very difficult to do? Why don't we do choreo that's like very difficult to do as a real human being? Could be a challenge on TikTok. I don't know. I'm just saying there's a lot of potential here, and right now I feel like they're satisfied with doing, let's just do standard K-pop that everyone else does. And to me, that makes me go, well, you're just doing what everyone else is doing, but they're not real people. Why should I care? Sure, there's a cool shot of someone jumping into a moving speeder car, but Obi-Wan did that in Star Wars, and I already like Star Wars. So, why should I like this over Star Wars Episode 2? That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Anyways, we've rambled on about the song a little bit. Do you have any final comments?
No, we'll see. I'm interested what happens with this. Yeah.
I'm interested too. All right. Critical mistake. I'm going to introduce a 15-minute timer like we did last week. So that we don't ramble on forever.
Was that longer than 15 minutes?
I think we
Probably
went just over it. Right now, my recording is sitting at like almost 18 minutes. So
we're back on track.
All right. Okay, yeah. We're not over it too much. Okay, let's move on. All right. I'm going to start my timer. Next song is Sugar Rush Ride by Tomorrow by Together, also known as TXT. They are from the company Big Hit Entertainment under Hybe. Their last three songs have been Good Boy Gone Bad, Loser Lover, and 01 Love Song. Now, this is their 5th EP, titled The Name Chapter, Temptation. This came in, good lord, this came in at 2.16 million pre-order sales. Pre-orders.
Wow.
Pre-orders.
Wow. Good lord. I mean, I can see that. Popularity strong.
Boy.
Yes.
Oh man. It seems like we're kicking off a new chapter to the TXT discography, right? If I look back at their catalog, they began with the Dream Chapter trilogy, right? Then they took a little bit of a break with the Minisode 1, right? Then they had the 2-part Chaos Chapter, which was the 2 songs that I really, really liked, right? And then we had last year's Minisode, which, I wasn't the biggest fan of, but now we're a new chapter, right? New chapter. Temptation. How did you feel about Sugar Rush Ride?
I feel like there were 2 parts to my experience with this song. First part was the first verse is the general sound that you hear from the beginning, right? Which I found a little surprising because it was way more pop rock than I thought it would go. Like I don't think we've heard this from them before. I was thinking something along the lines of like Maroon 5 in the guitar, if you can hear it. And I feel like I was surprised, but I was like, okay, this is kind of I could get to this, right? I feel like this is pretty good. And then the chorus hit, which I think was a different point in the song, like very different sound, very different experience. I feel like is where when they hit the chorus, that's where my interest kind of dipped, and I was a little, I don't know, maybe it was just not my cup of tea, not my personal preference, but
you don't like good tea?
Well, maybe it's tea, and it depends if you like it or not.
Oh my goodness.
It felt like the drop was cool. I feel like it had the effect it meant to have. Because it was very different. It was very
clearly not, because you're not impressed by it.
I mean, I know a lot of people like it. The song is not doing bad, as the pre-order numbers can say, but I feel like it felt a little overdone for some reason. Maybe because it was such a drastic shift to me. There was also like certain points in the choreography where I felt like, I don't know, it's just a little odd. There's this hand motion they do.
Okay, why are their hands always wet? Like, why is it dripping with like tree sap or like honey or like? I
feel like that's I think they're alluding to that. But there's a move they do where they're like, their pointer fingers. I've seen it before. I don't know what it's called.
You can't say that. You're the choreo professional here.
No, it's
give
not
it a name. Give it a name.
It's like when you fake, where you're like making a motion of like you're being shy, right? No, and it's your fingers, your index finger, touching your other index finger, and you're like looking down. Like I've seen it in like cartoons or like people that are kind of.
E.T. Index finger to index finger. E.T. That's what it is.
No. You need to see the choreography. You've seen this motion before, and I feel like it's a reference.
Bro,
right?
I did exactly what you told me to do. I put two index fingers together and started looking down at the floor. Like, what is this move? Like,
I'm not describing it well then.
Am I making a house? Is that what it is?
No. People who have seen the choreography will know.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I feel like it felt a little odd because it's very obviously an exaggeration, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something in the vibe, in the general concept, but it just felt odd to me. And I don't know, something about the last bit of the chorus where they say the title, right? Sugar Rush.
Sugar Rush, Sugar Rush.
Right. I wasn't a huge fan of that. It felt like...
What?
It felt like, yes, maybe it is meant to be a play on words and be said rushed, but it just felt, I don't know. It felt like a little too rushed. I don't know.
I think that bit in the top line in the second part of the chorus. Do I think I understand what they're saying? No, but like I think acoustically it's very pleasing. I think it's very pleasing to listen to. You know, that set of syllables bunched up together. It's like K-pop's mumble rap. You know, it's like just just it's good. I liked it. I like the chorus as well. It was a big drastic dynamic difference, right, from the rest of the track, which is like a housey, funky guitar, like you mentioned. The transition itself happens very quickly, very quickly.
Yeah, it's
right?
very fast.
And I feel like that's what makes it work for me. Is like immediately they just throw you into nothing but those 808 drums, couple drums, 808 bass, a couple drums, and then the whistling thing, right?
Right.
That thing, and I feel like that works so well, and I feel like that goes well with the concept itself, because I feel like TXT is transitioning a little bit. They're all adults now, and they're not shy about it. That's what I'll tell you.
Oh.
They're adults, and I can tell. Like, I'm seeing a lot of collarbones.
I see.
Here's what I'm thinking, right? Here's what I'm thinking. TXT up until this point, if I think about the first 3 EPs in their career, right? They did the whole like boy dog thing. If you think about the whole Dream chapter, they were clearly dudes. They're little kids, they were boys. And then during the Chaos chapter, they went into puberty. They were like, oh shoot, I got pimples on my face now. What's going on, right?
I don't know.
And then after that, they're like, we're adults now. Look at my collarbone, please. You know, like that's.
So
I feel like that's what we're getting. And
do
I
you
feel,
think this is? Oh, sorry. I was gonna say, do you think this is more of a shift in perspective now that they want?
I think it's a bit of a. Well, I feel like it's a shift in terms of maturity. I feel like their sounds matured a little bit. That's what I think, and I feel like the song does a great job of balancing those two things. Right, you have this upbeat, funky guitars, which feels a little more upbeat and youthful, while the chorus, halftime drums, slows the heck down. And they're like, "Look at us, we're 20 years old now. We are legal." This is what they're saying. We can drink now. We can go have soju, and it's legal.
All right.
We can also drive, but not both at the same time. Don't do that, please. You know, and I feel like that's what the song is telling me, and I feel like the EP title "Temptation" is very indicative of that. If anything,
A loss of innocence.
No, this is where like the whole like I was getting Lord of the Flies vibes from the music video.
Oh, okay.
And the whole
deserted island.
right, they first of all don't eat random crap shit you find in nature. Like that's horrible idea. First of all,
The nature shots were really pretty though.
they
I
were
thought those were cool.
right, and then suddenly they eat this poisonous tree sap, and then suddenly it's the night they've gone mad.
They're delirious.
And I feel like these are two, you know, different contrasts in terms of tone that are very well balanced. And if anything, the pre-chorus, the build up to the chorus, does a really good job at that because I forgot to catch who was actually singing, but the guy who leads that part with the falsetto, good God, that part's great. Like
Yeah, I think the members switch on and off, but yeah, I agree.
Well, a couple dudes,
Those falsettos were really nice.
They were solid.
And
good stuff.
honestly, yeah, that's where I feel like my only sense of like, oh, I'm not completely convinced was in the chorus. Like everything else I thought was really nice. And they actually do the chorus in the instrumental of the verses towards the end, right? So like they add the guitars and all that. And I enjoyed it a little bit more. So I guess maybe it's just I wasn't feeling like the vibe with the drop. I don't know.
Yeah. It looks like I'm looking at their press release right now, and it is about a story of a boy who has been tempted by the devil's temptations, I guess.
Right.
Yeah. So now I feel like that's pretty clearly displayed in the music video, and the song does actually a pretty good job of showing that as well. Wow, we have a concept that's like pretty unified throughout both the music video and the song, and the video. That's crazy. Yeah, I guess that's how I feel about the song. I think it's pretty solid stuff. Last time we talked about TXT, I wasn't too impressed. I'll be honest, but maybe that's because that was their like pause bit of thing. I feel like we're back on track. This is good stuff, solid stuff. I'm not as huge on it as maybe 01 Love Song or Loser Lover, but this I'm very, this is great. This is way better than their contemporaries, really. As a fun side note.
Cool.
Sorry, what?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, as a side note, right? Remember how we did the K-pop World Cup pretty recently, up until the end of December?
Yes.
There was a group of folks on the server who were like, where are all the boy groups? No boy groups on this World Cup. What's going on? So we had an additional separate boy group World Cup, right? TXT's Thursday Child Has Far to Go was second place on that.
Yeah. Second runner-up.
So I'm thinking like they're on a good track. They're on a good route. Like I mean, you can clearly tell with the pre-record sales, pre-sale records, right? Like this might be their year.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. All right, cool. 3 minutes, 20 seconds left. Look at us. So good.
There we go.
All right. Ramblefest 5.0 does not have to happen. We can just... All right, we're going to move on to the next song, which is NCT 127's Ayo. This is Neoculture Technology from the company of SM Entertainment. Their last 3 songs have been Two Baddies, Two Baddies, One Porsche, and Favorite and Sticker. Very divisive songs, very divisive music, but they're back at it with the repackage, right? This is the title track to the repackage off of Two Baddies. NCT's back. NCT 127. How'd you like this, Anita?
Very again, I felt a little unexpected in the sound. I didn't listen to any of the teasers or any stuff leading up to it. So I wasn't sure what the sound would be like for the repackage, but very hip hop leaning in a way, but by the beat. And it was very interesting. It felt a little experimental, and I think the visuals kind of added to that experience. There was certain styling. I think it was Taeyong that.
Do we want to talk about styling first? Can we talk about Taeyong's hair? Like what?
Right.
What was that? Like is it?
Well, okay. It felt very like avant-garde, very like extreme, like statement, and in a way, it felt like it fit the like there was like a certain serious or like darker vibe to it. Like the beat is not like a bright like
I mean it's a
like
dark leading hip hop track.
Yeah, like it felt a little bit more serious.
But did they have to give Taeyong Wukong hair that's like Super Saiyan 5 direct? Do they have to do that?
They didn't. But it felt like to be honest, I thought of like TVXQ back in their days when they did like triangle stuff. Like their hair was like that spiky, like very.
Here's the thing.
Statement.
A couple seconds later, right? Haechan, I think it's who's the other rapper with like. Let me look up his name real quick. There's this other dude who shows up in this like suit, just plain old suit, 007 style. Yeah, Taehyun. That's him. Yeah, Taehyun with clean hair, and I'm like, yo guys, gave this man this clean ass suit, and you gave Wukong hair.
I don't know.
Okay?
It did feel a little off place because nobody else did that, but
that's the thing. If everyone was getting Wukong hair, I'd be like, okay, their concept is poor anime cosplays, sure, whatever. But like, I don't know. Then there was a lot of like hip hop, like streetwear styling, so like that was pretty fine.
Majority,
yeah. And then suddenly Jaehyun showed up in the suit. He's like, let me do my thing.
Sunglasses,
Anyways.
Very James Bond.
Right, this is a very hip hop leaning song. Very, very lovely, fire, banging. One of the best beats I've heard in this podcast. Just great fire beat. Man, that loop is just so energetic and yet not at the same time. And it's just just I can't tell what instrument it is, but whatever it is, it's very distorted. The sample loop. Actually, it takes a lot of twists and turns. It's not the same loop over and over and over again if you listen carefully. And I feel like that's what drives the song forward, right? Vocals are on point. Great stuff. And this is the kind of beat where I feel like NCT's vocals really, really shine through, especially nowadays, because it's like one of those like R&B artists take on an aggressive trap kind of beat, and it works so well, right? I feel like the other backbone of the track should have been rap, especially Chaehyun's verses. He's got a lot of parts, not gonna lie.
He has a substantial amount.
Yeah, he's got I feel like maybe they were trying to push him. Like maybe that's why they gave the weird hair to the other guy, and like they were like, all right, just gonna give you a suit. But yeah, I don't know. All of this rap needs to be rewritten. All of it, like it's not good. Like for the most part, even with Taeyong, who I have been like pretty overly critical about the last couple of years, I feel like all of their parts is like not well written, not good flows, and the members are doing what they can with the parts they got. But whoever made the rap, I don't know, like is not typically the people they're working with, because I know for the most part SM works with like outside rappers to write their rap verses. I'm gonna guess off the top of my head that didn't happen here, because it's just not of the same quality that we typically get. Their voices are great, their tones are great. Taeyong is definitely toned himself down from like doing his acrobatic rap style. But
Two baddies.
I'm liking him a lot more here. I'll be honest. He traded his hair for his rap. That's what he did.
That was the equal exchange.
So I really like the beat. Not gonna lie. At the same time, I feel very mixed about it because I feel like the core NCT formula that we're used to is still here. It really is. And that's what I'm left. That's why there's this like sour taste in my mouth. It's like, sure, the beat's great, but like, did the song have to go in the same formula that every other NCT song does? Like, it was a little too predictable about like, oh, like, okay, I imagine we're gonna get an R&B switch up here. Oh, we got an R&B switch up after the second chorus, you know, like.
Yeah, I mean, I think after you mentioned this for another song maybe last week where you said like, oh no, it was
the other NCT track we covered a lot recently.
no, I think it was Got the Beat.
Oh, they got the beat. Okay, actually, yeah, I think you're right. Yeah,
right, where we were like, it's the structure that you would expect, where you get like the high notes, you get the rap, you get the bridge, right? In a certain way, right? Like, and yeah, I agree with that. There was also certain melodies or structure that reminded me of Punch, which was a repackage for Kick It, I want to say.
I think so, yeah.
And I have the same feeling for that song where I feel like it's not, I mean, it's the repackage, right? But if it didn't feel as like catchy or like as attention grabbing as some other title tracks are or could be. And
you know why it's not catchy? They're I expect this is where they actually did break the formula, but I expected a part where everyone yells "Hey yo!" and then "Hey yo!" You know, like, you know what I mean?
But it didn't happen.
That didn't happen. That was what they were relying on for the catchiness, and that didn't happen, and therefore it's not catchy anymore.
I mean, the thing is, like, it doesn't. You shouldn't forego, right, the artistic vision for the sake of being catchy, right? I feel like you should do what it feels right for the song, right?
Right.
I would say that the title, like the Ayo part in the chorus, made sense to me. Like, it didn't feel like it was out of place to be like for that to be like the hook there. But I don't know. There were just certain parts where I feel like it could have been a little more, because I feel like the beat is not like super aggressive, right? Which means that you could go more aggressive in the vocals, like to elevate the song, you know, to change the dynamics a little bit more, right? And not rely on just the beat. I feel like those types of things could be done in a way so that it brings something else to the song.
I'm gonna disagree with you a little bit here.
Really?
Because I feel like that's not the intention of the song itself. Maybe it's because it's a repackage, but it felt like they were purposefully going the route of IDGAF a little bit. It's a little bit of we're just gonna not care, and that doesn't matter because we're still gonna be good, right? That's like the effortless cool kind of vibe. I think that's what they're kind of going for here. The beat maintains the edge, but I think that's a big reason Jaehyun takes the main role here as a rapper, because his tone, right, is a lot more toned down and just a lot more relaxed. Now, there are moments that are a lot more aggressive, but I think for the most part, they were purposefully maintaining the energy at a low level. And from my perspective, where I'm a hip hop fan, it kind of makes sense. It does. It's less of a pop thing and more of a, you know, let me listen to kind of like a Drake rap for 32 bars with the same flow kind of vibe. That has its own appeal, right? It's not the same appeal that NCT tracks have had so far, but
true.
Right. Now that being said, the core of it is, like I mentioned earlier, following the same steps that an NCT track or an SM track or a Dem Joints track typically follows. And I'm thinking, you know, maybe you can do something a little more to kind of break out of the box a little bit, because they have before. They have before. They have. Like, if I go back to songs like Regular, for instance, you know, that was very out there compared to all of these other tracks that rely on a funky word, a very distorted or edgy synth, and trap drums. And then, you know, these R&B breakdowns and near the end, you know, that all that kind of thing.
Was this them joints as well? Because I know that they did another song on this repackage.
This song was Kenzie is the main songwriter, and then the second lead songwriter is them joints. He is also the main arranger. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh no. I guess my expectations weren't like super high given this is a repackage, but at the same time, I had fun with it. I think I will admit, I think a big part of it is because the beat was so good. Everything else about it was, it was, you know, it was there, but like, I don't know if it was completely convincing, if that makes any sense. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we have 3 minutes 45 seconds left.
Nice.
In the remaining time, I will remind everyone that I love NCT. They're great people. And that we will now move on. All right. Other big releases this week include Super Junior's Yesong's releasing Small Things, GOT7's Jin Young releasing Letter, Wendy and Melomanx releasing Miracle via SM Station, Amers releasing Fireworks, OneWe releasing Gravity, 8 Turns debut with Tic Tac, this is a boy group from MNH, NCT127 releasing their B-side music video for DJ, as well as their B-side music video for 127 Time Stops. Oh, I see what they did there. 127 Time Stops. Okay.
Yeah.
Good God. All right. Anyways, we are now moving on to Spice King. Anita, do you know what Spice King is?
I do know.
Do you?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Well.
It is when we evaluate the songs from this week and rank them and maybe put them in the Hall of Spice, depending
Right.
on the
Let's go around. Give our 1, 2, 3s. Let's start with Doug, because he sent us his vote.
He did.
Look at the lad. He began with TXT on 3rd. Tomorrow by Together on 3rd. He also did twice with Moonlight Sunrise on 2nd place, as well as, look at that, OMG's New Jeans on 1st.
Let's go.
Let's go. Wow, New Jeans. How many crowns does OMG have at the moment? Is it one?
One.
Okay, well, look at that. All right. We'll see if they can make it into Hall of Spice today. It could be possible. But Anita, what is your Soju chart for the day?
My chart. I'll start at the top because the top was easy.
Oh, was it?
Yes, it's only one choice. It's OMG.
There we go. Okay.
It's got to be number one. So yeah, what can I say? I've said so much. I listened to the song all month. Yeah, first place still. Second, I also have twice Moonlight Sunrise. It's a catchy song. It's a song that I feel like it's very easy to like because it's so boppy and the dance is cool and I don't know, good vibes. So second place still. Third place is where I've been deliberating because I don't necessarily feel too strong about the songs that could be in third place. But if I'm being very honest with my listening trends and reactions, I'm gonna keep Jin Young.
Oh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Cotton Candy, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like the sound was very refreshing. I'm not 100% sold on the music video, but the song was nice. Looking forward to more of his solo stuff. And yeah, I guess my chart didn't change.
Wow.
This is my chart from last week.
Not a single change. That's quite surprising.
It was close. I considered NCT, but I feel like it wasn't as big of a splash.
You know who did splash their hands? TXT splashed sugar all over the hands. And therefore they are first on my chart today. Sugar Rush Ride.
No, Warren, why? First?
I like the song. What do you got against it?
Okay.
It's a good song. You got a problem with that?
No. It's
Yeah?
just that. Okay.
What? You don't like the fact that I enjoy music? It's a good song. It's a lovely song. I'm impressed with the comeback. Is it my favorite stuff from them so far? No, not really. But at the same time, I will put this in the top 3 in terms of title tracks. Good stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, I might like it more than what is the other one? I might like it better than Loser Lover in a couple weeks. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes, all right. New Jeans. I've had a fun ride with this track. I'm not gonna lie. It's been fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's been fun. I've had a good run with this track. I've been listening to it nonstop since it came out.
Right.
I stopped listening to it this week, I'll be honest.
No.
I have my little playlist, right, with last week's Spice chart and the new songs we're covering this week. I go through that during the Mondays when we record, because we record on Mondays. I'll be honest, I skipped it every time it came on.
You skipped.
Yeah. I will admit, if I could give Ditto something again, I would.
What?
So I'm sorry. OMG's not on my charts today.
No.
Yeah. I feel bad. I didn't think it would still be here, I'll be honest. I was like,
why wouldn't it be?
I don't know. It's been a while since the song's out. Like, that's the real. Yo, it's been 4 weeks. You kidding me?
It's still good.
It's still good. Don't get me wrong. I like listening to it in the context of the other New Jeans tracks, I'll be honest. And like, there will be times where I look it up and play it. But typically it comes on my Spotify after Ditto comes on. And I'm like, Ditto's cool. I like OMG's cool too, but you know, Ditto has I'm sorry, Ditto's not even the question here. Anyways, OMG, I still like the song. Don't get me wrong, I don't hate the song. I just think it's been a while, and I'm not excited about it as much anymore, because we're getting all these cool tracks like Ayo by NCT 127, which is on second place for me.
All right.
I'll be honest, I think it's purely because of the beat. I'm sorry, but it's a good beat. Everyone's doing all right. Everyone's doing a decent performance. I actually like the fact that they're giving this I don't give a crap kind of mood. Dig it. Effortless. Moonlight Sunrise by Twice is on third place for me. Again, lovely little, nice little Twice track. Excited for their English release that's coming soon. That is my chart. Sugar Rush, Ayo, and then Moonlight Sunrise. All right.
All right.
Well, Anita, I actually in the chat pasted in the Gochu Gang votes from the Patreons. Would you mind going through them, please?
So, first place, as it should be, is New Jeans, OMG.
Okay.
Second place, Twice.
Okay.
Moonlight Sunrise.
Okay.
And then third place, the gang voted for TXT.
Okay. You haven't been calculating stuff on the side, have you, by any chance?
I've been trying to. Give me a minute.
Okay. I will somehow buy time. So I don't get me wrong, people. I still love New Jeans. I think their music is great. I still like OMG. I still like Frank. I still like 250. I still like all these people. It's been a hot minute. That's what it is. We got all these shiny 2 toys. I got distracted. I'll be honest. That's what it is. Sorry. But I don't think that matters that much, does it? Right?
I mean, no.
Yeah.
It won't, but they could have gone to the hall straight away.
Oh. I see what you mean. Oh, this is awkward.
Okay. All right. I have some numbers here.
Okay. Did you calculate the charts?
I did. Okay.
Thank you. Okay. I appreciate
place, according to my calculations, goes to TXT. Sugar Rush Ride.
Sugar Rush Ride.
Congrats to them. Second place, Twice. 10 points. Good for them. And then in first place with 15 points is OMG by New Jeans.
Nice.
Yeah, so they have 2 crowns now. Almost there.
I realized that if everyone, including me, had given them first place, they would get double crown and enter.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, Warren.
I do
But
realize
it couldn't
that.
be.
Show winners. I need to move on to show winners.
Well, exactly. Because you know who won? You know who won a lot? New Jeans. With Ditto. They won in Show Music Core and Inkigayo, so they have a total of 6 wins with that song. And then OMG also got some awards. M Countdown and Music Bank. Congrats. They're winning there.
Congrats. Congrats. Hey, I still think their music is great. I still think they're doing amazing.
Yes.
I apologize to all the bunnies out there.
Yeah. Don't worry. More stuff to come. I am excited for them.
I apologize to Frank who produced the OMG. I have your album through XXX here. I have all the other ones too. But it is what it is. The show must go on. Will they win first place next week? I don't know. You ask me. We will figure out next week when Doug is back. Anyways, we are going to take a short break. 3, 2, and a 1.
Hello, SojuTalk Nation. This is Anita here with a quick PSA. If you would like to support SojuTalk Kpop Podcast, please like, subscribe, or follow us on whatever platform you're using. And consider joining our Patreon at patreon.com/SojuTalk or donating to us at paypal.me/SojuTalk. On behalf of the crew and myself, thank you. Now back to our regularly scheduled episode.
All right, we are back. We are back from the break. We're going to go through the news now. Right?
Yes, we are.
We are? All right. Did I say I'm beginning or you were starting? I forget. I'm sorry.
You.
All right, I'm beginning. Okay, well, we're kicking it right off with New Jeans news. Their track Ditto recently surpassed IU's Celebrity to become the song by a female artist with the most hourly perfect all kill in history, with 463 perfect all kills and counting. Oh, look at that.
I feel like we already had an idea that this might happen. Like the numbers kept going up, and I knew that they were in that sphere. But seeing it actually happen, that's really, really exciting for them.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, it's just the beginning of the year.
Right. Like IU with Celebrity and inevitably now their next hallmark is Dynamite with BTS, which I believe is first place, period. Both of those artists, their level of success has been a culmination of not just a year or two of success, but nearly a decade of it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where's the decade built up for Ditto? That didn't happen.
Couple months.
Couple months. Half a year.
Yeah.
It's wild. Clearly Ditto is a superior song. OMG is good too. We will move on. All right, next news.
All right, so talking about virtual artists, Novice will reportedly make her debut during aespa's VR concert at Gwangya this year at South by Southwest.
Oh, good lord.
That's crazy.
Okay, so Novice apparently can also sing. I didn't know that.
I don't think this was information known that she would be also part of the group.
SM Talents? No, well, they're not a part of aespa, and she's
Right.
a solo artist. That's what it is.
Solo artist.
She's a solo artist.
Wow.
Was this always the plan? I don't really know at this point.
I don't know. I wanted to say no because I thought she was created to be a part of the lore right, of the storyline.
Right. She's basically Jesus in their universe, right? No, honestly, like that's what she is. Like she's the
Something
savior.
like that.
Yeah. And they're looking for her in this vast plain called
Right.
Plain in Korea.
Yeah.
Okay, again, my question is, who's gonna voice her? Because my question has
True.
been, is she gonna be Jung Yinju, who played Black Mamba in their debut, or like is
Right.
it gonna be Boa? Is it?
They can't be. No, I think it has to be somebody completely new.
A lot of pressure on
Yeah,
someone's
yeah.
shoulders to be a god in another person's universe.
A virtual deity.
Now that being said, again, my question is, why are the 4 other members of aespa on hiatus? I would like to see them return. OT8. Yes. Where's Karina? Where has Karina been? And why is she only ever wearing one outfit?
I don't know.
All right.
It has not been expanded.
Apparently they
outside of
couldn't
this
afford a wider dressing room modeling situation. I don't know. All right. Next news. Scooter Braun recently became the sole CEO of Hybe America. Oh, good lord.
Wow.
He has previously shared the co-CEO title with Lenzo Yoon, who has been a high or big hit for a while, but I guess it's just Mr. Brown now. Just Mr. Brown. Scooter Braun we've been seeing his name all over K-pop the last couple of years, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Ever since Psy blew up in Gangnam Style. I guess they really like him.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if they've already built connections with him for a couple years now, and it seems to be going well, I guess he would be the person to lead and steer the Hybe branch in the U.S., in America.
In the Americas. All right.
I do wonder what kind of activities this would entail, right? Like, what will this branch do in location? I don't know. We'll see.
Have they actually been? What have they done so far? That's my question.
True. I don't know
do
if
we
it's been said explicitly.
Okay.
But-
Well, they have Ithaca Holdings under that, but that's always been a Scooter Braun thing. Big Hit Universal is technically under Scooter Hybe America apparently. So weren't they doing a whole audition thing in a K-pop
Right.
girl group? Maybe that's what this is gonna be. We'll have to see.
We'll see.
We'll see. All right, next bit of news, Anita.
Yes, Mnet confirms plans for Queendom's spin-off series called Queendom Puzzle.
Okay.
So on the 26th, source from Mnet confirmed that the series Queendom will be getting a spin-off titled Queendom Puzzle, and it will broadcast sometime during the first half of this year,
Oh.
as seen in the article. I have no idea if this will be, I wonder if this will be something like what The Road to Kingdom was, right? So it was like a pre-show to the show, but we'll see. Maybe something completely different.
Maybe it's gonna be a show where these members show up and they start playing puzzles, like puzzle games.
Maybe.
Yeah, and like the loser gets a lot of money, and the winner gets a lot of money, and the loser has to, I don't know. What should the loser? Maybe they should eat.
No.
There's a Korean variety. There's a Korean YouTube variety thing, survival show going on right now called Uma Games. And Uma, as a YouTuber, is this guy who's famous for making food out of insects, or
No. Oh, no.
things
No,
that are typically not eaten.
No. I don't like that. It sounds like Fear Factor.
Kind of like that. Kind of like that. They've had easier ones like durian kimchi, but if you think about Korean people who don't normally interface durian, that's gonna be strong, very strong in smell, especially because it's fermentized. But in another instance, they had tadpoles in their food. Like,
oh no!
I'm not gonna explain how because that's a little gross. But anyway,
Well, I hope it's not that. I hope it's not.
it's
that.
probably not gonna be that because if Mnet tries to do that with girl groups, like the fandoms will shoot him down.
That would be no.
All right, let's move on to the next bit of news. All right. SM Entertainment, they're reported to be holding an audition for the next NCT members ahead of their debut of NCT Tokyo. They're apparently looking for boys born between 2001 and 2008 to audition.
Oh my god, that's so young.
That's a whole zodiac behind your ear, Anita. Good lord.
Yeah.
You know, K-pop's shifting younger because we're growing older. I kind of get it, but at the same time,
Yeah.
good God. I guess NCT Tokyo is actually happening.
Good. I've been guessing that it would happen, predicting that it would happen
There
every
you go.
year.
Yeah,
Maybe this is the one.
we still need a good name for NCT Tokyo. Like,
Well, yeah, maybe they'll change it.
yeah, they can't just debut with NCT Tokyo. I thought that's their like temporary name before they debut.
Okay.
Call it, I don't know, NCT Yabai or something. All right, next up.
All right. Melon has unveiled a new tool on the platform called Melon Hall.
Oh,
So this new tool shows the number of total streams as well as the daily streams increase of each artist. It also ranks artists based on their total number of streams in diamond, gold, silver, and bronze levels. Melon Hall is only available for artists who have surpassed 1 billion streams on the platform.
that's a big threshold to get over.
That's a 1 billion. That's a big number. So now we see some people. I would be one of them.
Right. We have two examples pulled up in this tweet. BTS,
Yeah.
obviously, of course, we have BTS and
of course.
IU, right? They have a big number for their total number of streams. The Korean counting system is a little different, so I can't like translate it off the top of my head, but it's a lot. That's what I'll tell you. And they've had 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, million, 2 million increase over the last 24 hours, apparently. Good God.
Wow.
Whereas IU had 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, million, 1.1 million increase over 24 hours. Look at that.
Well, yeah.
There you go. Okay. G-Friend is here too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, they're in the bronze club. If G-Friend is in the bronze club, like, like. Anyways, I guess because the bottom floor is 1 billion streams, I'm gonna guess not a lot of artists are gonna be on there so far, but you know,
Right. It's going to be exclusive.
it's gonna be pretty
anyway.
exclusive. I'll see if I can look into that in a second. But anyways, next bit of okay, here's a bit of news regarding that. Right, we have BTS sitting at diamond tier, IU, EXO, and Kim Young-won sitting at gold tier. In the silver tier, we have Akmu, Blackpink, Hogak, 성시경, 김호중, 101, Beaufort, Twice, Taeyeon, 17, Red Velvet, Mamamoo, Polkim, Haze, B2B, Davichi, Big Bang, MC The Max, and Park Hyushin in silver tier. That's still a big lineup, but look at that.
That's the extent of the list, I'm guessing? Or of the people in the hall?
I think so. Maybe there's more people out there. I am seeing a couple names that are like traditionally like favored by a lot of
Right.
people, right? Like Hogak, 성시경, these two are ballad gods in the streaming charts.
Kyushin, yeah.
Right, Im Young-won, every mother's favorite little boy. Not little, but you know what I'm saying. MC The Max and Park Hyushin as well. Park Hyushin, good God. Anyways, let's move on. All right, next bit of news. This is also some New Jeans news. Apparently, OMG has surpassed 1 million copies sold on Circle Chart. Look at that. Lots of physical
Wow.
sales.
Good for them. OMG, yes. They deserve that.
You know, by OMG, the physical copy, they're including Ditto in there as well. Like, just
But by name.
Okay, fine, but like your shade ain't doing much for me. That's all I'm saying. All right, let's move on.
Well, okay, this is not so great news. MLD Entertainment shares that all 6 members of Momoland, Hyebin, Jane, Nayeon, Jui, Ahin, and Nancy, have chosen to not renew their contracts with the agency following their contract expirations.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Before we go into discussion there, I'm going to follow this up with another bit of news. In a similar vein, Sports World has shared that Chungha had decided not to renew her contract with MNH Entertainment and that she will become a free agent in March as her contract expires. At that point. I believe this bit of news is still waiting to be confirmed, but
okay.
We will see how that turns out, because I don't think at this point MNH should have said nah, she's still ours, but that didn't happen. So
right, they're not denying it.
They're not denying it. Let me just double check. Yeah, they haven't denied it. So okay, MNH has told Topstar News that they are checking.
So they wouldn't know.
I guess they're checking to make sure that they're not re-signing or signing. They're renewing. Okay, let's talk about Momoland first, right?
Right.
Do you want me to be honest, Anita?
Sure.
I'm glad they're free agents now.
Well, yeah, I mean, leading up to this, I'm not necessarily surprised, right? Like, it has been rough as far as the group management and other members had previously left already. Haven't been very active that I can think of, individually or as a group. So maybe this was the right call. Hopefully, it's for the best, I think.
I hope it's for the best. A lot of the members are still young, so it's not like their career is like completely over, right? They definitely have a good chance of being successful elsewhere. It's not like their image has been consumed a lot either, maybe other than Jui. So for the most part, where I feel like MLD Entertainment has been doing a, for the lack of a better word, pretty shitty job of leading their discography. I'm glad this part of their career is over, and hopefully they can move on to something cool, right? That's my take on it. They might have had a fun time, but like after seeing Lapillus's debut, I was like, I'm not big on MLD.
Right, they're in the same company.
They are. Going back to Chungha a little bit, that's a big person to just suddenly become contractless.
Yeah, I'm more surprised about this because I had an idea that she would be pretty stable at this point, like with her releases, full album stuff. I don't know. I didn't think she would be a free agent. Like I thought if there were news of like maybe switching agencies, maybe but I don't know. This is odd.
There's been reports of her on V Live next year where she said, someone. Okay, so context was someone in the comments on the V Live was like, "Oh, Chungha, I hope you do a world tour," and Chungha says, "Oh, that's on my bucket list. So I want to try it too." MNH, why won't you let me do it? And then someone asked, "You should leave your company," and then she says, "Oh, I want to leave. Let me out." Oh wait, should I say? Can I say this? Can I take that back?
No.
You can't take that back, Chungha.
Oh dang! I did not know about this.
Yeah, I mean, maybe she was joking around with it, because I haven't been able to find a video copy of that. I've only read like people, finding captures of that. But what I will say is that MNH, their marketing strategy around her full album releases have been quite divisive, right? Her first album, Cadencia, right? Really, really good in hindsight. One of the better full-length albums of that year, but people have been saying that they really goofed up with the marketing leading up to that release. partially because they had to keep delaying it because of COVID, but then again they delayed it for like almost a year due to that. Bare and Rare Part 1 released last summer, but where's Part 2? Because that was the first part of her first full-length album.
It's almost going to be a year.
Yeah. I don't know. I've been hearing interesting stuff about their company on the side. At the moment, she's free to go anywhere. Like people, if anything, she's still in a good position in her career where she's gonna want to sign with a good company. People at a good company are gonna want to sign with her too, right?
I would assume so. Yeah.
Yeah. Where do you think she's gonna go?
I don't know. I feel like she has such a range in like as a performer, as a singer. So I feel like she could do well with a lot of support. So like more than anything, I feel like it's based on like how willing are they to invest in her.
Right. How much they're I feel like that too, and their confidence in taking Chungha's talent and giving her the most out of it, because I feel like the potential still hasn't been fully blossomed, you know?
Yeah.
I could see her at Black Label.
Oh.
Maybe because of Sobi. Not that I want her to.
I don't know. I think of...
Wait, you know AOMG.
Well, I did think of that.
AOMG.
I did think of that. I feel like they've been getting a lot of solo artists that have been in the K-pop realm.
Right, Yugyum's there, right? JB's there. Lehigh is there. Jung Chun-sung, the martial artist, is there. You know, I'm just saying.
He's the zombie, right? Is that what his name is?
He's the Korean zombie, yes.
Right.
Yeah. He is the MMA champion, 6th in the feather group. I don't know much about martial arts. That's Doug's thing. I don't know. But given how AOMG has been shifting away from just a hip hop label into more of a general media
Production
musician
team.
agency. What?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like she could do really well there, and it's not like AOMG doesn't support good music for their artists, right? So
that's true. True.
All right, we shall have to see what happens to Chungha. I hope she goes to AOMG. But next bit of news.
Kind of adjacent to that, because we do have somebody who signed. Dawn has signed an exclusive contract with Groovy Room's label, Area.
Oh.
So Groovy Room is actually a sub-label from AOMG. Am I correct?
I think Higher Music, if I'm correct.
Higher Music.
Yeah.
So, but Higher Music is also associated with AOMG. They're all... I don't know what the tree looks like as far as who's connected with what, but I know that they're adjacent to each other. Very interesting.
Yeah. I don't think AOMG and Higher are legally actually binded together, but they're founded both by Jay Park and
correct. Yes, that's the connection there.
Right. Both of their CEOs are Cha-Cha Malone, if I remember correctly. So.
Very
No.
Interesting.
AOMG CEO is someone else.
Yeah, because Jay Park is no longer, I believe, right?
Right. It's DJ Pumpkin, right? DJ Pumpkin leads AOMG. Higher Music is Cha-Cha Malone. Jay Park is doing more Vision. With his, he's also apparently doing a K-pop boy group. That's his thing.
Oh my.
Anyways, let's go back here. Area is now home to Groovy Room, Mirani, Gemini, and Dawn. Interesting stuff.
Yeah.
On a similar note regarding Dawn, News One shared that Hyuna and Dawn have gotten back together as a couple.
Wow.
Wow.
This is so interesting, because I feel like it wasn't too long ago, right, that it was announced that they had to split at some point. And that was, to me, that was a little surprising, because I know there were talks of a ring. It looked like there could have been an engagement at some point. So it was, I don't know, I felt a little sad, like, to see the relationship end. But
well,
I guess it's in the works still.
Sad no more, Anita. They are back together. I hope they're happy. Apparently, they've been doing schedules together, right? They've been going foreign together, and apparently they're very romantic about it. So maybe they fought, and they regretted it. Maybe that's what happened. I'm just guessing. Yeah.
Who knows? But
who knows?
Hope they're doing well and they're happy.
In terms of Don's career, under what's it called? Area, Groovy Room has been on fire the last couple years. I've been kind of unexcited about their music for a while, but then again, the recent stuff has been really great. The way they've been producing Mirani has been, I think, really incredible. So for now, I think Dawn is in good hands. We'll have to see what happens.
Very nice.
Cool. All right. Next week we have 3 releases. We have VVZ, Epic High, and 17 BBS all coming back with their thing. And that is the official ending of SojuTalk, your weekly shot of K-pop. We don't have anything too crazy for after hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
just chatting.
We paused all the rambling for today, so
we'll try to keep it to a minimum.
Right. We'll do all of that in the post show. That's what we'll do. I don't know. Do you want to quickly allude to what you're talking about? I'm going to talk about rap music.
I'm going to talk about some other releases that were not within your scope.
Okay.
But
do I need to go listen to XG real quick? Is that what it is?
Maybe.
Okay.
How did you know?
If you want to listen to XG discussion, stay tuned. But otherwise, that is the end of the show. If you don't, whatever. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Special shout-outs to our Fiesta patrons. Bagel, Based Mina, Brian, Shadow, Cotton Ball, Delmonic, Ellie, Genki Boy, Goku Mama, Jacob, Liam's Games and Toys, Luke Daniels, and Jay Parks. Tier, thank you for joining SojuTalk. And special thanks to our Discord server mods, Jacob, K-Music Erday, Koala, Max, No Bias Luna, Tuggles, and Wolf297. All right, we are here on the after hours of the show. Anita, you had a song you want to talk about? Yeah, did you?
Yes, a little bit of a song rec.
Yeah. Let's be honest. Do you need to recommend it to them? There's a bit of a good level of hype.
Overlap. Right, and I think there's a reason why I didn't know it was a consistent thing, but so the artist, right? XG had a comeback. Newest title track is Shooting Star, and they are also, I don't know if they'll promote it, but they have another song as well called Left Right, which I think is a dual single at this point.
Okay.
And I don't know, I really like the song, but something that's very interesting is that they are also promoting it in Korea. So they've been on a couple of the music shows. Really cool to see them perform, because I know, I mean, there's a music show scene in Japan, but I think their style is more in alignment with what you see with K-pop. So it's cool that they're able to perform there as well. But yeah, the song Shooting Star, very, very nice. I feel like the production value for this is so high. Like there's a difference, I feel like, at least in my opinion, between their last comeback and this one. Music video wise, very, very, very cool, very well produced. I love the lighting in a lot of the shots. Very trendy fashion, and the song itself is very I think I've seen people calling it like a little bit more hip hop leaning or R&B leaning in certain parts.
Definitely.
And I feel like it works for them because they have a lot of like the performance aspects for it. They're really great dancers. And I feel like they also have an air, like an attitude that complements that sort of style too. So I don't know. I've been liking this a lot.
Yeah. No, Shooting Stars has been cool. It's been a good cross between hip hop trap and this R&B leaning chorus. And it kind of goes back and forth between that. It's a simple concept and it works really well because the members themselves, they're very talented, right? They have good attitude. They're good at dancing. They're good at singing. The rapping capability of these folks is hot. Is on point. They're good. They're really flipping good.
Their cipher was quite popular a while back, right?
Someone on the Discord recommended that they sent me a link to a cipher with 4 of the rappers who did their own thing on their 4 different beats. It was good. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it was a hell of a lot better than some of the rap you heard today. That's what I'll tell you. Like, both NCT and what's the other one? MAVE, right? Like, obviously I'm not throwing TXT into that discussion because that's not what they're focusing on. But just very talented folks. Music itself feels pretty feels like pretty complete. Like everything about this feels pretty complete. I don't know. Like, dude. Obviously, there's a lot of hype writing with XG. My question with this group always is: are they J-pop? Are they K-pop? Or is it a cross in between? Like they've labeled themselves as X-pop a while back.
Interesting, yeah.
Right, and then there was this whole controversy where their company's CEO came on to an interview, and he wasn't particularly the most respectful towards Korean culture or Korean folks. You know, which obviously we're not sure how that relates to how the members themselves feel, but you know, it's not a good look when your company's CEO and AVIX is doing this, right? But then last time with Mascara, they started going to music shows. This actually, Shooting Stars isn't the first time they're doing it, right?
Yeah, it was the last one.
Right. They began with like M Countdown and all that. So they're in this gray area in between. We still haven't figured out how to label this yet. The way they do stuff, the way their songs work is very clearly inspired by K-pop. The focus on the visual is very clearly inspired by it. So far it's been very impressive to watch and almost a very fascinating experiment because
to be honest, I feel like that is one of the things that almost feels a little bit not that it's stalling from them, but like I don't think it's necessarily helping the fact that they're not in a definitive genre, right? I feel like maybe that makes it harder for people to find them, right? Because you can't really associate them with directly, right? Like by name, by label.
right.
So I don't know what the route would be. I know that I think all of the releases have been in English. So there's also that.
Right. Well, they have been saying that their music is targeted towards the American audience and the American market.
Okay.
That was the controversial interview where the CEO of AVIX said, "We made this project was worked on with a Korean producer, but we don't work on it with a Korean label. Everyone in XG is Japanese. This is not like K-pop. In fact, it's more American. We just have Korean producers." And I'm thinking, I mean, I don't know. Tippy Toes is definitely less K-pop-ish, but Shooting Stars, I don't know. It's not. It's a singular word, right? Not plural. Shooting Star, I don't know. I feel like I'm definitely seeing the K-pop sound here. Not exactly sure who produced it. I'm not able to find that info, but
right. Yeah, I feel like when you mentioned that their target audience is in the West, I feel like it makes sense, but I don't know if there has been any moves, any efforts to be in that sphere as of late. I don't know. I don't think they've toured, or I don't think they're planning to tour.
Right.
Hopefully, if that's the goal, hopefully they do. I just feel like the way that you hear about this group, or at least the way I did, is because it's been in the sphere of other K-pop music, right? Because it's similar in some ways. So I feel like it's a little confusing sometimes, and it might be for people who are trying to get into it.
Right. I do feel like if they were going to be this similar to the concept of K-pop, it might have been beneficial for them to lean harder into it. Because at the end of the day, if you make good music and your members are cool people, you're gonna blow up, right? Regardless, like that's how K-pop typically works, unless you have a scandal somewhere. Might as well use the infrastructure and the tools that will facilitate that a little bit. But regardless of their popularity and success anywhere else in the Western market, I'm definitely seeing signs of their popularity's increase, right? In our community, in our Discord, there's been definitely a large following for XG. In fact, a lot of the Gochu gang voted for them, even though they were not an option on this week's chart.
They did.
They did. We have a separate option where I go, if you want to vote for something else, you're totally welcome to. XG, I believe, got like 16 points or something, which is might sound low, but very, very high for an artist that was not actually an option.
I see that. Yeah, I'm looking at the chart right now.
Yeah. It's very high.
Okay, if I'm being honest, if they were included in the conversation, right?
Yeah.
They would be in my chart. Because I feel like, I don't know, I feel like the music is good. I like what they're putting out. The members are really talented, but for that same reason, like it's not this genre, but it's not the other, and like their target audience is something else. But we'll see. I hope that things come together as far as like promoting and management and all that, so that they do get more exposure.
It always comes back to like my question of what makes K-pop, which I guess is a very stupid question to ask.
It's a very big question.
It's a very existential question because a lot of international folks think all pop music coming out of Korea is K-pop, which I understand is a very understandable perspective, but
not necessarily.
The way I look at it, there's K-pop and there's Kayo being popular music. There's a pop scene in Korea as well. Like, look at Songsikyoung, look at Buzz, look at Hogak, like you mentioned earlier, or like Busker.
I mean, the way that I differentiate like pop music and what we would typically call K-pop is that it's in the I don't want to call it system, but in like the
that's honestly the best word.
In the structure, the system that accompanies the music, right?
Right.
I feel like that's very iconic to it.
Right.
And that's kind of what people know.
Right.
So I feel like there's that. Like it's not necessarily the sound, but it's like how it's delivered.
Right. If I go back to last year's Korean Music Awards, which is a award ceremony that's run by a whole bunch of like music critics, they did this thing last year where they separated out pop music and K-pop as different categories. Like there was a hip hop category, there's an R&B category, there's a modern rock category, there's that kind of thing, and then there was pop music and K-pop, and their reasoning for that is that K-pop comes with a lot of things in their package: music videos, visuals, literal things in your album packaging, like photo cards,
physically,
right? And there is a lot more to consider because like they're dancing while they're singing. Like other artists don't do that.
Multitasking.
Right. They're very much multitasking. So if you consider that, that was their reasoning for breaking things out, because the context of what those folks are doing and what these folks are doing are so different. They're not saying, K-pop is not as good as pop music. That's not what they're saying, right? They're just trying to understand that these songs come from different contexts, and they're trying to appreciate and respect that. Then you have then this is the XG is the other side of the conversation, where they follow all of those unique parts about K-pop, but their lyrics are in English. The members are Japanese. Their label for the Avex is Japanese as an agency. Yes, they're active on music shows, but so has Spire as a Japanese band has been active on M Countdown. Do we count them as a K-pop label, K-pop group? Now, you know what I mean? Like it's this gray area that I always find like an interesting point of conversation. Like another example that we often get asked is Jackson Wang.
Wow, yeah.
Right.
As a soloist.
As
right?
a soloist in GOT7, his music has definitely been leaning away from K-pop. His music is definitely in the contemporary R&B pop era, where I could definitely say, okay, I'm not sure how I feel about putting this with K-pop, But then again, the counter argument to that is that he has been trained by the K-pop system, right? He has been in the K-pop group for 7 and counting more years, and he is still active there. Like, how do we differentiate between that? This is a recent phenomenon, right? Where the K-pop functionality takes in and spits out results. These K-pop artists, and sometimes we detach them from the original meaning of being K-pop, and now we have the situation of this gray area. So we'll just have to see what everyone else. At the end of the day, I don't decide what these are called.
Yeah, majority will tell.
But until then, we'll have to see what happens. Because I mean, I think their stuff is fire so far. They're good at rapping.
Good.
I'm not gonna lie. Good God.
They're really good.
They're good. We'll have to see. Speaking of rap, speaking of hip hop, there's been cool stuff that's been coming out of the industry. One, Show Me the Money, I've been told might or might not be airing this season. This season, as in the upcoming September. Good God, I don't know. So, Mnet released. So the interesting part is Mnet released their. Mnet recently released their roadmap for 2023, right? They were like, oh, we're doing this, we're doing that. Let me actually pull it up. I had it somewhere. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, this is all right. This is on Instagram. That's fine. Let me switch my screen real quick. Go into studio mode. I know how to do this. No, I don't.
Visual aid.
That's what this section of the show is supposed to be about, right? Anyways, there we go. All right. So this is the schedule you're looking at, which now that I look at it, it's actually not that big, but Boys Planet happening February, March, April, right?
Oh, right.
Yeah. M Countdown happening every year, every month, every day. Actually, not every day, every week. KCON is listed here. They're doing one in Thailand, Japan, LA, Saudi Arabia, and then they have Mama near the end. So again, NYC people have been...
What's going on?
Left out. Queendom Puzzle, like we mentioned earlier, is happening May, June, July. And then in October, November, and December, it says new hip-hop. What is new hip hop? Is it just gonna be Show Me the Money or not? So people are like, oh, maybe they're getting rid of Show Me the Money. Maybe they're rebooting it. Maybe they're giving it a different label. We don't know.
That sounds about right. Because I feel like you wouldn't put new in front of Show Me the Money.
Yeah, because last time we talked about this was a year ago, where Doug was like, Doug showed me the schedule and he was like, oh, they're doing Show Me the Money again this year. And I remember on the episode I was like, oh, I can't believe they're doing it again. It's time to end. So maybe this is actually, they're wrapping it up. What I will say is that last season has been pretty unsuccessful in terms of views, ratings.
Who? What? Was it Youngji?
Youngji-won.
Oh, okay.
The music itself hasn't sold very well on the charts. Youngji is actually, one of Youngji's final tracks is actually doing really well, but that's about it. and it's not making the same amount of impact as like Credit by Lil Boy or Infrared Camera by One Stein a couple seasons ago.
Yeah, he didn't even win.
No, yeah. So people have been saying maybe it's time for Show Me the Money to rap, and then suddenly Mnet came out and they're like, oh, Show Me the Money hasn't rapped. Maybe.
Unsure.
They don't know. That's what it is.
They don't know.
Because at the end of the day, like, sure, I mean, you can make a TV show about hip hop. Like, what kind of other format are you gonna use? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
will they bring Pretty Rap Star?
oh God, I've not heard that
Something
name
like
in
that?
a while.
It's been a minute.
Oh man, I'm Pretty Rap Star. Maybe they're gonna bring a high school
knows?
rapper back.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
still
It's been a hot minute.
yeah.
Last season to that didn't do really well either. So, people have been saying that Show Me the Money just needs to go away and instead do a season where like all the famous rappers just compete with each other. Like,
The All Stars.
yeah, just like get the winners of Show Me the Money and get the producers of Show Me the Money and get them to compete with each other. I don't know, that sounds pretty cool. But then again, MBC at one point did a show called Kill Bill, which was that. And that flopped so hard. It's not even a joke. I think the winner was supposed to do a collab with DJ Khaled.
Did they do that?
No, DJ Khaled just pulled out. They had to.
no.
They literally had to stop airing the show mid-season and cancel it.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, it was awful. I mean, I don't blame him because the ratings were awful. DJ Khaled probably saw that nobody in Korea was watching this. Korea is already a small country.
This is not number one.
He's like, no, this is not.
We are
This is not the best
number one.
music.
Oh no.
So
That's so
yeah.
sad.
Anyways, I don't know. Yeah, maybe Show Me the Money All Star. Just get this guy in the comments is like, oh, get everybody that won on Show Me the Money and get them to compete with each other, and then just wrap it up. But like, do you know who won season 2?
I don't.
Yeah, I don't even remember their name. It was a trio. I forget their name.
A trio.
Soul Dive. Do you know who they are? You probably don't.
I don't.
They
think
don't.
I've
Yeah,
heard
they're not very active anymore. Like, this show's gone on for like what, 12, 11 years at this point.
It's been over a decade.
Who won season 1? Loco won
Loco.
season 1.
I remember that. I mean, I didn't see it, but I know that he did.
Yeah, Loco. My God, that's how he became popular, right?
Yeah.
Then there was Bobby in season 3.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And then
And
BY?
and then Basic, and then BY, and then
Basic BY, okay.
Hengju, and then Nafla. And then that's the modern era. Punch Nello, Lil Boy, 조광일, Youngji. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what that has to offer. Honestly, I welcome the idea of a new format because this as much as I love hip hop as a culture and the music that comes out of it and the artists there, including all the stupidity that goes around there, as much as I love everything about it, at the same time, Show Me the Money has been both a pain and a pleasure, and I would prefer that they change some of it up at least, so that if they're, I personally feel like sometimes, very often, they don't do a good job of representing the culture, and on the other, I don't expect them to because they're a TV show. But at the very least, I expect them to be an entertaining TV show.
variety.
Yeah, and I didn't bother finishing last season. I'll be honest. Like the season before that too. I didn't finish season 10. I just watched like YouTube highlights.
Same.
Yeah. Yeah, like you don't even know the rappers there. You
I
have no
don't.
investment.
If anything, it seems like, oh, this has a lot of views, and I go,
Yeah.
oh, what was that?
See, I have like personal investment in like everybody on the show. I'll just stop watching. All right. Well, we'll have to see what happens. A takeaway of today's after talk should be that you should listen to XG and Loco.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you know who
That's
also
the
is getting
message.
ready to come back? Beenzino.
Oh, right. You mentioned that. New album?
Hopefully.
album?
He dropped, I think he dropped like what I think is a pre-release for his next album today. It's so good, man. Oh, it's
I need
so
to check
good.
it out.
It's okay. He rapped on this Tyler the Creator type beat off of YouTube.
Oh,
But
okay.
it is so lo-fi and so like toned down.
I've been liking Tyler's stuff, so maybe I'll like this.
It honestly doesn't feel like a Tyler the Creator type beat, but
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Never
it's
mind.
just a YouTube producer, so they went with what they wanted to. What I will say, it is very jazzy. It is very jazzy. Beenzino, for a lot of you guys who are not aware, he is what I would say the perfect Korean rapper.
He's like your rapper's favorite rapper.
He's everybody's rapper's favorite rapper.
Yeah.
He has inspired a lot of rappers. He was the first musician of this genre to become popular through his music and become a celebrity. And to us that means a lot, because typically success in the industry meant that you make pop music with rap thrown in, or
feature.
right, through features, or you just don't. And this guy broke all of that. So this was all like over a decade ago, and so this might sound like, why is that important? Everybody does that. So that's what it sounds like. But because I'm old, I saw that. He was on the charts for the first time as a rapper that's not on the major label.
Yeah, so long.
Like Dali Van Picasso. Anyways, he originally came to fame through his duo called Jazzy Fact, and he was doing all this jazz sampled beats, very, very groovy rap style. So it feels both like a return to form, yet a refresh, the mature, old, I don't care about what other people think, Mr. Lim Sung Bin, Mr. Beenzino. So the song is called Trippy by Beenzino. I am KME on the Discord, who was actually guested on the 2 award show episodes we did last year. He and I have been so excited for this album. We're just like dying over here. When is this album gonna drop? I don't know. You tell me. Anyways, that is enough for my rant. I'm looking on my Twitter right now. I've been tweeting songs that I listen to on a thread. And I forgot to do it for 5 days because I was doing it every day. Then I forgot. So I'm gonna try to do it again. I don't know. Come look at it if you're interested. I've been just going freestyle for a couple seconds. Anita, how's everything good in your life? You okay?
Pretty good. Pretty good. It's been
chilling.
It's been snowing.
Good God.
In the Midwest.
Jesus.
Which I mean that's pretty normal this time of year. But
It's the end of January. What do you expect?
every year though, it's still like
You know what's crazy about New York is we still haven't gotten snow.
I'm surprised about that.
I'm worried.
Is that
That's what
normal?
it is. No.
That doesn't feel normal.
No. It's global warming. That's what it is.
Dang.
Okay, I lied. We got a little bit of snow, but like it was like one of those like rainy snow things that like.
Oh, that's slush.
See, yeah, as a former Midwesterner, and I will not accept that as no, that was just fake. But yeah, it's been weird. It's actually been in the 50s today.
That's so warm.
Yeah, I went outside in a hoodie.
Wow.
I was like, dang. I guess the weather's really nice. Oh man. What else? I'm actually moving in a month. I should probably mention that in the podcast. So because the background's gonna change again. I know. I've been moving. I know I've been moving every year. I don't want to do it anymore, but I have to. I'll share the details as they come. But I imagine that if you guys watch on YouTube, I don't know why you guys do it, but if you guys are, the background's gonna change one more time. I actually like this wooden shelf a lot, so I'm gonna try to keep it. Some of the albums here, I might move them elsewhere because they look nice, but you can't really tell what it is from the screen, especially because I'm using the screen. Let's go back here. Okay, there we go. I I bought some vinyls in Korea. That's what those are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I've been trying to buy more vinyls.
Do you actually play them?
No. You know what the worst part is? I haven't even opened them yet.
Why?
Cause
you just collecting them?
I want them to be mint until I actually play them.
Right, but you don't even have. Do you have a player, like a vinyl player?
No, they're expensive.
So then, you're just collecting them.
I guess at this point, yeah. I mean, I want to get a record player at some point, right? And I'll probably do it when I'm like a little more financially stable. I can't spend a couple $100 on the record player when I'm moving again in a month, Anita. Like I just like.
All right.
But yeah, I'm looking at P&Q album right now. This is called The Supremacy off of I think like 2006 or something. 2007, I forget. But I grew up listening to this album. Great album with OG Young the Quiet from his 20s and Palo Alto from his 20s.
Oh, the Quiet.
Look how young he looks.
Man.
안녕하세요, 덕화입니다. Anyways, alright, we just randomly said a couple things for last minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, well, I guess that's what it is. Well, Anita, it's been a lovely, I don't know, but probably something along the lines of almost 2 hours, right? Probably.
Again?
I don't know. I don't see how long this episode is while we're doing the thing. I only know when we're editing and we're done. Well, it's been a lovely.
It's been a minute.
It's been a lovely single minute with you. I promise to all our listeners, Doug will probably be back next week. Notice how I said probably, so if he's not, don't hold me accountable.
Yes.
He probably will be. I'm not forgetting you guys. Yeah. Till then, I shall see everybody next week. Bye, Anita. Bye, everybody.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Bye 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 bye.